Graz are the world's most committed G-Class fan club. It's truly inspiring. One of the most inspiring customer stories is about a G named Otto and his driver, Gunther Holtdorf. Together, they embarked on a truly epic road trip over 26 years through 215 countries and spanning nearly 900,000 kilometers, at least 1/3 of which off-road. And consider this, the rule of thumb is that 1 kilometer off-road puts roughly as much strain on a car as 8 kilometers on-road. By that measure, Otto logged something close to 3 million kilometers. So, given stories like this, it's even more impressive that about 80% of all G-wagons ever built are still on and off the road. That's a percentage you'd expect for collectible coupes or convertibles. But those cars often spend most of their time as garage queens, not climbing rocks or blazing through deserts. Still, you cannot keep a car alive over decades just by telling stories of past glory and keeping it away from rust. We've learned over time that preserving heritage also means constantly improving it. You need to invest both bucks and brains to add new chapters while staying true to the overall script. That's exactly what we've done with the G-Class over decades. When designing a new car, you usually start with a long list of things to change. This time, we also started from scratch with the G-Class. One key question, however, was, what do you have to keep? Of course, a lack of design innovation has been one reason why some cars and even some car brands passed away. But for the G-Class, keeping its iconic shape is part of the success formula. For example, we could integrate the door hinges, but we didn't. We could streamline the turn indicators, but we won't. We could remove the grab bar, but if you've ever driven the hardcore Schöckl off-road track, you know we shouldn't. So when the team in Graz wanted to test drive the new G in public, they actually considered going without the usual test car camouflage. They figured only experts would recognize this as the secret new G. It could literally hide in plain sight. After all, it's pretty hard to hide an iconic shape like this one anyway. There are simply some things you cannot camouflage. But preserving the character of the G-Class is not just about looks. It's also about sound. For example, conventional cars have a locking sound like this. The G-Wagen sounds like this. It will continue this way, and that's a good thing, right? Yet above all, there is one thing that matters most: unparalleled off-road capability. That's the core of the G-Wagon's DNA. For that reason, we didn't even think about replacing the G-Wagon's holy off-road trinity: the ladder type frame, the 100% differential locks, and the low-range gear. Okay, now some of you might be thinking, hey, did they invite us to Detroit just to say, here's the new G, it's just like the old one? Of course not. Let me clarify. This door handle is one of just 3 G-Class parts we carried over from the current to the new model without any improvement. An improvement in this case means we fundamentally refurbished the interior. We created an entirely new on-road experience. We took the G's legendary off-road competence even further. At the same time, we preserved its iconic character. And the only proper way to measure a G-Wagon's improvement is taking it out to its favorite playground, Mount Schöckl in Austria. That's what we did. Take a look.
On the first day of our development, it was already clear. When it comes to off-road, we make no compromise. The new G-Class has, of course, the same key features as other G-Classes. Leather-type frame and low-range gear, offering additional power and control whenever needed. Just by pressing our center differential lock, we're entering the G mode, which is all new and prepares perfectly for every off-road terrain. 100% incline is standard for the G-Class. And we have a new feature, an off-road camera made for extreme driving situations. It's driving conditions like this, when adaptive damping really shows its strength and puts a big smile on my face. I think it's clear. Only a G-Class can be better than a G-Class.
Yes, Gunnar is absolutely right. The new G-Class is better than ever. It really excels on Mount Schöckl. That's also possible because the new chassis is co-developed with our colleagues of AMG. Its torsional stiffness is improved by 55%. At the same time, the new G-Class is 170 kilograms lighter. Another example is the independent front wheel suspension. It delivers a smoother on-road performance. And that's great, but it also improves off-road capabilities. And that's what really counts. Or take safety. Of course, the new G now offers all state-of-the-art safety systems you expect in a modern Mercedes. But the new G-Class also has some unique solutions. For instance, the G's iconic turn indicators now disappear in case of an accident. That protects pedestrians and the signature look of the car. Of course, there's also a huge improvement in comfort. One of my favorite proof points for that is the rear view camera. As any G-wagen owner knows, the rear camera in the current model mostly shows the spare wheel. That's why our engineers have now placed the camera below the spare wheel. But on top of that, they also made this camera 100% waterproof, because the new G-Class also has a significantly improved wading depth of 700 millimeters. That's almost 30 inches. Finally, on the inside, we'll find a dramatically upgraded interior. There's more space, more choice, more cutting-edge telematics, and more convenience. All of this underlines one thing. The new G beats the current highly capable model in every discipline, almost literally on any terrain. And with that, I think the time has come to recreate some of the magic that once happened in this theater and finally show you something.